what matters most in life is finding purpose. So, how to find purpose in life? This and more on How to Life, knowledge and skills needed to create the life you want, best experience of life possible. And today, life purpose, purpose in life. What is purpose of life? Does life have a purpose? Does that matter at all? What does matter most in life? What matters most in life? Do you know? Do you care if there is a purpose to life or no purpose? Do you care if you know what life is or not at all? What is life about? Maybe all you care for is a survival, just surviving another day, another day, another day, waiting to die, and in this cycle of birth and death, and is that all? Is that all you're about? Or is there something more? So let's start with that more. Let's start with what we all have in common. For as long as human beings existed on this planet that is called Earth, there was a notion, a knowing that there is something more. There is something more than this human body mind. There is something more than this world that appears to be. There is something more. And whatever we do, no matter how much we develop as a society with technology, with sort of info, data, so-called knowledge that is really just a collection of data and juggling around this data in different ways, that knowing or that notion it's more than a notion, it's a knowing that there is something more, than human being, the human body mind, that the world that appears to be stays. It stays with us, no matter how we explain it, no matter whether we look up to the sky, conjure some gods in human appearance that sits there and sort of rule, from heaven instead of ruling from the earth, or we look inwards and find some certainty and some stability and some peace inside. Whichever way we do it, let's stay with this knowledge that there is something more. The knowledge about what really is, who we really are, a knowledge about what life is about. Uncovering that knowledge, getting to know your true nature, that is the purpose of life. That is the purpose of life. There is just one life. There is no more life, your life, their life. There is just one life that appears in different life forms, like human beings. Is a more developed species of an animals, or as plants, as trees, as other animals, as these are all life forms that appear to be, but there is just one life. And there is just one consciousness, and there is just one awareness of that life. There is something beyond all the life forms. There is something beyond the body-mind. There is something beyond this everyday appearance of the world, of this life that appears to be, that is running towards death and doesn't have much sort of sense in it at all. If it's just some sort of a journey from a birth to death for a shorter period of time, it doesn't make much sense. But we all know. Let's stay with this common knowing in all of us. Even a tiny drop is enough. Even a tiny drop, and we all have at least a tiny drop of this knowing that there is something more, that there is something beyond. And there is. As people knew from thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago till today. People who discovered what really is. Uncovered that knowledge inside them. Have lived through the ages of human race. And they live today too. And this is the purpose of life. The purpose of life is to recognize your true self, to recognize your true nature, to discover who you really are, to discover that beyond that we all know is inside of us. This is the purpose of life. Work on that knowing, the tiny, even you have a tiny bit of knowing that there is something more, there is something higher, there is something beyond all this suffering, beyond all this struggle, beyond all this chase, beyond all this running towards the death, apparent death. Work on it. Go inwards. Focus on it. Concentrate on it. And you will find the truth of what is. You will find the knowledge about what is. You will find the knowledge about yourself through the perception, direct perception, through direct experience, but not the experience of the body-mind, not the experience of a human being, not the experience through the 5 senses that are all pointed outwards, but through the inner experience. And through the ages, for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, people have experienced that directly, and they still do experience it directly. But in today's society, the vast majority of the society has this tiny bit that they don't work on. They just sort of discard it. They just sort of disregard it. They just sort of look away. But the purpose of life is to look into it, to work on it, to focus on it, to concentrate on it. And a totally new dimension of life will open up that is peaceful, that is calm, that is steady, that is eternal, that is limitless. The understanding that will dawn on you will totally change your whole outlook on what life is, what life isn't, what is, what isn't, what is to be focused on, what isn't, what matters in life and what doesn't at all. So purpose of life. There is a purpose to life. Work on it. Discover who you really are. Discover your true nature. And on my channel I show you many ways of how to work on it, how to focus on it, how to discover your true nature. I also drop under the video the names of a lot of people who have YouTube channels and great videos on the topic. And stay with me, stay with it, stay focused, and support my channel by the means that I state underneath the channel. There is a purpose to life. Sit with it, know it, and start discovering it. Take care. Bye-bye.